All right, coaches. Welcome to today's little topic that I put together for you. First off, I want to thank Coach Bandstra for providing the opportunity to get together during this COVID shutdown that we're all still, or a lot of us are still in. I know some of you guys are out there. You're lucky. You're playing last night. We're shut down until February. Hopefully, we can get a season in then, especially for our seniors. But I'm really thankful for Coach Bandstra having this format for us to be able to get together and share some different things that we're doing, some positive things that all the different coaches around the country are doing, and giving us at least something positive we can do instead of just sitting around, being upset that we can't be on the field with our guys. Thank you for all you coaches for sitting in and watching this. I just kind of want to share a little something that we're doing that's we've had some success with. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Coach Trotter. I'm the head football coach at Pine Lake Prep High School in Mooresville, North Carolina. There's my email and my Twitter. If you got any questions after this, you want to reach out, talk about anything, feel free to hit me up at any time. I'll try to get back with you as quick as I can. Usually it doesn't take me too long. A little bit about myself. I began coaching high school football in 2002. Pretty continuous. Had a couple-year break where I stepped away from the game for a little while, but I couldn't stay away, for too long. It drew me back in. I've coached at every classification level. Public schools in the state of North Carolina, 1A to 4A. Most of that time was spent at the 3A and 4A level. Also spent time in the private school league here in North Carolina. I've coached every position on the field except for DBs. I've been an offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and a special teams coordinator. And this past season, I finished up my first as a head coach. Just a little bit about where I'm at now at Pine Lake. We are a 1A charter school, which means that, it's a lottery system to get in for our guys. It's not like a public school where you can just move in, or a private school where you can, pay to enroll. It was a rebuilding year for us. When I took over the program, we had 14 returning players in the entire program. We only had 2 returning starters. We started a lot of young players this year. We started a freshman at center, at quarterback. We had some guys on defense at safety playing that were freshmen. A lot of sophomores too, 2 sophomore offensive linemen. Receivers, backup running back, same thing on defense, linebackers, D-line, some DBs as well that were sophomores. Our offensive line that started most of the year, none of them played high school football last year. And then as far as just a schematic change from them, they were a double tight, power I type system before I got here, and we transitioned into a spread look. So, there was some growing pains this year. We finished 4-7, and I'm proud of our guys for, the accomplishments that we did have. We set over 20 offensive records this year. So, again, I'm really excited about the future that we have here and the job that our players and my assistant coaches have done of building this program up. And I think we just got a lot of positive things to, coming to us in the future. So today's talk is going to be on, how we kind of blended a run and shoot concept, but made a tweak to it. Now, I'm not a run and shoot guy. I didn't study at the feet of June Jones or Mouse Davis. There's some great run and shoot coaches out there that, give away a lot of great content. This is just one thing that we did, that we tweaked, that we found worked really well for us, and I wanted to share it with you. But the first thing is, before we can talk about the tweak, you need to kind of understand the go concept. If you don't know what that is already, I feel like the go and the choice route are the 2 main, those are the run and shoot routes. So we run both of those. We run variations of both of them, but this here is your classic go concept. This will be 60Z go for traditional run and shoot lingo. Your Z receiver over here has a must outside release vertical, got to get down the field. The wide receiver here in the middle, he has the seam read, the poem route, a lot of different ways to tag this. He's reading the near safety, and depends on, if he's over top, I stop. If I'm even, I'm leaving. If he's outside, I'm inside. Those type of deals there. But he's reading this near safety. And then your number 3 receiver has a 3-yard shoot route. He's getting there as quick as he can. So that's your base go concept out of the run and shoot. Now, what we did was we tweaked this a little bit, okay? Our outside receiver is now going to run the seam read. He's going to do this by releasing inside and stacking the middle receiver. He's going to read the near safety just like you would on the seam read. And the way that we teach this is pretty simple. I didn't want to give a lot of route conversions this first year, especially starting, a freshman quarterback and some sophomores who don't have experience in a spread system. So we kept it with 2 conversions. It's if you're capped, you break the route off at 10 yards and you sit down in that hole. If you're uncapped, you continue on the vertical seam. The middle wide receiver now takes the place of the outside receiver. So he has a must outside release vertical. He's going to wheel underneath the outside wide receiver. He needs to maintain outside leverage on the corner. We want to stretch this as far as we can. I'd like for him to get outside the numbers to really force that corner wide. The one thing that we do allow him to do as well is a conversion where if they're playing like a cover 4 and they're bailing hard, at 10 yards, he can snap that thing off outside and sit down at 10. But he needs to be smart not to come back downhill because of the third receiver. And then for us, we either use like a third inside receiver or we'll do an H-back from a wing or a sniffer set, and he still has that 3-yard shoot route. Now, this is something we're still working on. We didn't run that great this year. We kind of had where we would attack upfield and then get to the sideline. This year, we're going to really stress, making sure that we're on a direct path to the sideline, just to try to keep that flat defender lower so that he can't drift back into the seam read route. So here is just kind of a visual of how we draw this up. This year, I've added a little bit of a change right here. We're going to let him bring this in a little bit more and potentially into here if we're sitting with 2 high safeties. But again, this is what it looks like. We're going to attack this thing hard off up the field. He's going to read either sit down at 10, bring this thing inside, or continue going. The X is going to attack outside, snap this off at 10 or continue going. And then our third receiver is running a 3-yard shoot route. Our quarterback will half roll this. You'll see on the film here in just a second, he does a full roll. Again, our quarterback last year was a freshman. He was 5'9". He struggled seeing from the pocket. So that was why we really wanted to get him outside. So we did a little bit more full roll than, what traditionally you see with a run and shoot route. This year we're working more on that 3 to 4 step half roll and then getting them and then releasing the ball. But, it's just one of those modifications we had to make last year just due to the personnel that we had. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the film here. What I want to show you here, just kind of give you an idea, freshman, sophomore, sophomore. So, and then on the line, you got a sophomore there, a freshman there. None of these guys played on the offensive line the year beforehand. Now, in this first route, we'll go ahead and start this so you can see it. All right, so right now, I didn't pause right, sorry. All right, so he's working out. He's looking too soon. He needs to be attacking a little bit more inside, then looking for the ball. There's your corner coming inside. Quarterback misses this. This is the very first game of the season. This is our second drive of the game. All right, sorry about that. So here we go. So this is our second drive of the game. He just misses the read. If he puts that thing out there and lets him go get it, he's going to score on that. But instead, he decides he's going to tuck it. Picks up about 6 yards on the play. 2 plays later on the same drive, we come back to it again. Now, right now, you can see they got 4 linemen here, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All this, I would say green grass, but we have gray turf. All this open space right here is where number 1 needs to be looking and getting to, and you'll see he does that. Number 2 is going to come underneath him, get up the sideline. Number 3 is going to hit the flats really hard here. I love showing this one because this is one of those few plays where every person is open. So right now, he's wide open. It's 3rd and 3. Normally, I'd be screaming at him just to take this right now, let him run up the sidelines. But as you can see here, he's open, and he's completely open. So we'll run that one back to the very beginning for you. Can't draw it up any better than that. All right, now we're going to run it with an H-back and a sniffer set. Sophomore and sophomore right here. So he's going to drive inside, get to 10 yards, read what he needs to do. On this route, he doesn't do a great job. He stays inside the numbers, and you'll see how that doesn't really impact the corner as much as we want. We want him outside, which is going to force that corner to turn and run with him. And then our sniffer here, he kind of goes upfield and then gets out. Now he gets to 3 yards. He's running right down the 50, but he needs to come straighter to get there. But again, this is our second game of the season, so these guys are still learning. We'll run that back. Now, what I like about this is you can see he's running this up. He actually cuts this off a little bit before 10, but he realizes, okay, he's capped. Let me go ahead and sit down in the grass. All right, let me go ahead and get open. Boom. He's at 8 yards, turns, sits down. There's a safety sitting over top. He knew he couldn't go vertical. This is why I want him wider, because now this corner is still kind of peeking inside. He needs to be outside to create more space. And if our H-back would have come flatter, I think it would have pulled him and made that throw a little bit cleaner. But again, quarterback does a good job, puts the ball right on the spot, get upfield, try to make a play. All right, now on this one I'll show you, because this is how we missed the read completely here. Again, sophomore wide receiver, he doesn't get to the full 10 yards that we want. All right, this was this kid's first game playing. He'd been a little injured in the offseason, so this was his first chance to get on the field. He runs more like a true like out and up versus just coming right off of the receiver's hip. Quarterback being young, a little bit of pressure, he dumps it off. That's fine. We missed the touchdown throw, but we pick up 5 yards, which is all we want on first down. Same game, it's the fourth game of the year. Talk to the quarterback about being a little bit more patient, letting that develop. The outside receiver does a better job. He gets to 10. He sees this. He wants to settle up. He could have split that. And as we get into this a little bit more, I'm going to try to have those guys split that, because there's just wide open grass behind them. But at the time, it was either get vertical or sit down. He sits. Quarterback sees the outside vertical is now open. Makes a good throw. Now this play here, it's first down on our own 1 yard line. So a lot of people are like, okay, hey, you got to line up and run the ball out of here. I'm the opposite way of thinking. Somebody's getting ready to score from this point right here. Either they're going to sack us and for safety, or we're going to throw one deep and catch them looking, which is kind of what happens here. We have a stacked look out here. We put both receivers out wide. The one that's on the line of scrimmage is going to run the inside seam read. The one behind him is no longer having to run like a wheel route. He's just now a straight vertical outside. And then our 3 receivers still running the speed out at 3. Quarterback here, sees and throws it. Corner falls down. This kid runs a 4.9. He's a little bit quicker. That'd been a 99-yard touchdown pass. But again, great job seeing it, letting it develop. Teams start peeking down there. That's what I'm telling you. If you're ever backed up against the goal line, take a shot. It's going to be a big play. Now, fourth down and a little less than 4. Okay, we put trips into the boundary. All right, we get man coverage here. We've stacked our 1 and 2 receivers, the number 3 receivers off. Again, he's going to run the seam read. Now, he understands it's 4th and 3. He shortens this route up. It almost turns into like a little slant sit route right here. But again, he's in his man coverage, so he's trying to not pick, but give a little rub right here to try to free up number 2 as well. He's just an unselfish player, sits down, but you'll see how this develops here. So 4th down and let's say 4 to get the first down against man coverage. They all press off. He dumps it off. We got the first down. Now look, man coverage, boom. Still blocking downfield. We get a touchdown of it. All right, coaches. So that's our what we call Go Swap. That's not traditional run and shoot terminology, but it's just what we call it. I hope you learned something from this. If you got any questions, please feel free to hit me up at Coach Trotter75@gmail.com or at Coach Trotter75 on Twitter. Kept it simple. Always here, love to talk ball. Thank you guys for sitting in and watching this. And, thank you for all you do for the coaching community, for other guys, the ones participating in this. Thank you so much. Have a good day.